Today is day 8 of Gupt Navratri and we will be exploring about Ma Bagalamukhi. Ma Bagalamukhi, the 8th of the Mahavidya, carries a surprisingly empowering and reassuring energy. Her very name reveals her purpose. Bagala comes from the Sanskrit root word balga, meaning a bridle. Bridle is something like the headgear used to control a horse. So, Bagalamukhi is the divine force that comes in chaos, reigns in chaos, pauses aggression, and brings unruly forces under her command. She is lovingly known as the Devi of Stambhana, the power to still, freeze, and neutralize what threatens harmony.
The forces that govern here are Mars and Mercury combination. Ma Bagalamukhi force that arrests speech. It comes as strategic paralysis, what is known as Stambhan. So in life, she appears when reactions could cause destruction. Our mere reactions is what we most of the times suffer from because certain thing happened, and as a default state we instantaneously respond. Instead of responding mindfully, we reacted. That reaction brought a counter reaction, so this is a never ending cycle. What can break this karmic cycle is the power of silence, is the power of arresting that speech for some time, arresting that thought which is propelling such a kind of instantaneous reaction for some time. So speech must stop, movement must pause. You must step back for a minute to allow that force of reaction to die down. It is not easy. It's very easy to instantaneously react, but to have that mindfulness to control your actions and your speech requires a lot of self work. It requires a lot of inner strength, which comes from Ma Bagalamukhi. She also allows you to let go. Why do we react? Because we feel that we have control. We really don't have control. So, someone who really has control can give us that power of restraint. And this is what is a big turning point in the growth of the consciousness. Because all our karmas are driven by most actions that we may, in retrospect, um, uh, not find befitting to our own nature. But at that point, there's not much that we can do. It is only when, at every given point of time, we do not lose that mindfulness to react, to respond from a place of silence. That inner silence, that inner restraint is again the force of Ma Bagalamukhi acting as her grace, where speech itself has evolved, where the thoughts have evolved, and that is why your actions are also evolved. So, in the same given situations, you see two, three, four people acting very differently. Why? Because the consciousness itself has evolved differently. And that is when we also realize that the other person is acting only as best as he can from his level of consciousness, from his level of chetana, allows him to do only that. So that's the best he can do. When we see that inner suffering child, which also needs healing in the other person, we are able to respond with compassion rather than reacting to prove our point. And that is the grace of Ma Bagalamukhi.
She is shown grabbing the tongue of demon, symbolizing the arrest of harmful speech, slander, and destructive expression. One hand holds a pasa, that is the noose, the power of which implies the power of restraint. while other wields a gada. Okay, the strength to strike decisively when needed. Astrologically, this is a clear, elegant language. Control of speech, because she is holding the tongue of the demon. Okay, control of speech aligns with Mercury, while force, warfare, and counterattack belongs to Mars. She's holding these weapons and all that. It is as if like if you speak more, I will blow with this weapon. Gada. Her stance is like that, right? Bagalamukhi's form is not about gentle beauty or emotional nurturing. It is about strategy, precision, and fearless command. Pure Mars plus Mercury territory. Okay. From our Astotri Namavali, okay, there are quite a few sacred names which reflects both the Martian and Mercurica energy, Buddha's energy. Durjana Dvamshini, destroyer of bad people. Durjana Shatrunashini, destroyer of wicked enemies. Durjayayai, the unconquerable one. Vadini, slayer, breaker. These are unmistakably Martian themes. Okay, fearlessness, confrontation, and destruction of evil. At the same time, her Mercury like brilliance shines through the names, the sacred names such as Vakpalyayai, protector of speech. Vakya Bedini. Beda means division or discrimination like that. Cutter and controller of sentences. Hastiba Pradayini, giver of effective strategic action. Buddhidayini, giver of intelligence. Together, they reveal her deep promise. Bagalamukhi is Mars controlling hostile force, guided by Mercury controlling language, thoughts, and strategy. So she controls both the planet ka energy. Okay, from an astro point of view, this is especially significant. You know why? Mars and Mercury are enemic planets. Okay, and when they combine by conjunction, either by placement or nakshatra overlap, okay, that means her energy, you can resonate better with her energy. Now, whenever these two planets are retrograde or carrying Nishbala strength or undergoing malefic influence, or very importantly, Ashubha Grahas flanking their Rashis. Which are the Rashis? Mars ka sign, Vrishchiga Rashi and Mesha Rashi. Mercury ka sign, Midhuna Rashi and Kanya Rashi. When Ashubha Grahas are placed here. Okay. Now, how this can reflect in one's chart, one's life? They can manifest as muscle damage. Whenever Buddha and Mercury are placed together, they can lead to muscle damage, ligament tear, something like this. Okay. Muscle is represented by Mars. When placed with the inimical planet Mercury, it creates such damage. Mercury represent documents. Okay. So, document related issues, court case, communication based conflict, serious strain in marital life. Very importantly, whenever Mercury and Mars combines, possibility of serious strain in marital life is there. You know why? Mercury is the natural sixth lord, Mars is the natural eighth lord. So when they combine, the possibility becomes a bit more. Okay. Now, Bagalamukhi sadhana works precisely at this junction, harmonizing the volatile energies by stopping damage before it spreads. That is why Bagalamukhi is traditionally worshipped to defeat and paralyze enemies, to win court cases, overcome competition, silence harmful forces, both external or internal. Her grace does not create noise, it creates stillness. Stambhana. And in that stillness, clarity, victory, and calm naturally arises. That's it for Ma Bagalamukhi. Tomorrow, let's explore Ma Matagi. To learn more about Ma Bagalamukhi and her connect to astrology, more importantly, to perform her Dhyan Shloka, open today's Astro Wisdom in Astro Sadhana app. More details are given in the description. Thank you.